Good morning, traders and investors. Welcome to Wealth Done. This is the weekend edition where we're going to review my trades. Also, I'm going to show you all my trades that I did, why I did them, and how we ended up again this week. All right, so let's start out with Monday. So we're going to go through the week from the 21st till the 25th. A lot of trades I made there. Last week we finished up slightly positive. You're going to be surprised how we finished up this week. So let's start up with the very first trade. No surprise, it's Open Door Technologies. Ticker symbol open. So this was the first trade from Monday. And we ended up with 39.6. Now remember, I'm tapping in here euros, but you also see the conversion rate. So a gross of 39.6 profit as always, and then a net of 29. This is deducting taxes, and then a $34.17. Also here is the updated conversion rate, euro to US dollars. So each trade that you see here in my portfolio, they're actually specifically to the conversion rate to that date. So made a little money then on Open Door. Now the next one was SAB. Now SAB is the technology company, SAAB, and it's a European company, so of course they up. This was also on the Tuesday on the 22, made it 25.06 profit there. Close again, so it's 18 or 21.62. Let's take a look at the diagram of SAB. So as I said, I moved out of the trade. Let's go to a year, week, 5 days. So 22 is when I moved out of the trade, and it went up. So it went up. Let's see here. 22 moved out of the trade. It went up a bit and it went down a bit. So I don't know if that was that obvious. Let's see a Fibonacci retracement here. Yeah, so let's take actually the previous high. So from here, just low. Let's extend it now. Should have gotten back into the trade maybe. Now we can also see that it's trying to trigger again from a really low point, actually a buy signal back in here. So maybe next week is a better setup to enter this trade. It's trying here to grow. We have a MACD trying to trigger a buy signal. We have a RSI which is on the 40. So if this gets to the 50 range, I would be thinking about going back into this trade. Maybe we have a good opportunity. Let's just say a 10% opportunity here. We'll see next week. Okay. So currently we are in a green, right? But then greed once again came into me and I retried Open Door. You'll be surprised that on the 23, on Wednesday, I made a negative 367.38. And we're in the red. So let's take a look at Open. Now, I'm going to do a separate video on Open, but let's just go over this stock a bit. Let's go on a year. Now, Open was initially thought to be the next big thing in real estate technology. You're going to buy your real estate and sell it back to someone else, of course. Now, this stock is now a $2.54 stock. And this is now a meme stock because let's take a look at 5 years. This stock was a $36 stock. So I'm just going to stop here because I'm going to create a separate video on Open Door and how dangerous this stock is. I'm just going to say, if you want to trade this, be cautious. You could get yourself burned pretty badly. Now my position was small and I still got burned. So just think about it, okay? Next up, I exited my TMUS financials position completely. So actually all of these positions were completely exited. So this was also on the 23. Made here a small negative 0.84. Now since then, TMUS, let's go to the weekly chart here once again. And a little bit of gain here is trying to trigger a buy signal once more. Maybe this is going to set up for a smaller trade. But I'm going to say something at the end of the video why I exited most of my trades. But not all hope is lost because I also traded HIMS. If I can type HIMS correctly. HIMS and HERS. Let's just try to take a symbol. HIMS? Don't have it in here. Okay, so HIMS and HERS. Ticker symbol HIMS. This was on Wednesday. Just checking here my trades on Wednesday and made a beautiful $108 profit or euros. And that was gross, and that would be a $93 profit net. Since then, of course, HIMS jumped back up. So this was on, let's go to the weekly once more, the 23. And since then, actually exited trade right here. Since then, it went up again. But this right here, this is what, actually I exited the trade already here. But this right here is what made me think about this trade. Made me have second thoughts. This is a bearish flag. So I could see HIMS correcting pretty roughly. Let's just take a look at the 6-month chart. So this was back in April. We could see something like this once again. So take care. So here would be 1 point, 1 stop. So if it goes past this previous low, then the next previous low would be its resistance or support, let's just say. Then I made a small trade. So from here on, this is a really small trade. So the DAX ETF. So because this ETF is a pretty strange ticker signal, DBXD. And this was on Wednesday again and made a small 9.97 profit there. So we're still in the red, as you can see. But maybe it's going to get better from here because T-Mobile had earnings. I had the position before on the 23rd once more and made here 48.25 profit. Then also made a small profit on Eli Lilly. Should have stayed in that. Now that I think more about it, because I made only 18.8. My Lockheed Martin position, I did have actually, so Lockheed Martin, more hopes for this because I bought it in a pretty low, but it just couldn't get maybe I have to take a look at these technicals. So this was actually yesterday on Friday and made a nothing, almost nothing. So actually my Lockheed Martin position, let's just take a look at Lockheed Martin. And let's just go to 1 year. So it's struggling here. As you can see, didn't have a good year, didn't have a good decade, let's just say. If we go through a 5-year, still on the major bullish downtrend here, bearish. So 1 year also bearish. This is a major bears flag here, so maybe it's going to do something like this once more and then correct downwards. Once again, they do need wars in order for them to operate. So let's go down to the week, and I just cannot see here month. It's actually trying to trigger once more a sell signal on the monthly basis, on the 3 months, on the 6 months. I don't know. This is for me far too dangerous in order for me to re-enter this trade. So I'm just going to leave Lockheed Martin as it is. Maybe another day. Then we also had Intuitive. I just entered this for a small trade. Surgical. This is a very good stock. Sold it yesterday. Made a minus 6.5. And I'm going to just start off from here on else. What I saw in the market is a little bit of volatility picking up and money rotating into safer stocks. McDonald's, Coca-Cola. Stuff like that, that's pretty dangerous for me. And by the way, I do own McDonald's and Coca-Cola. Now after that, I also sold my Pfizer. This is the financial company, okay, so not Pfizer, the medical company. Again, yesterday, exited the position, didn't want to stay. Again, I got cold feet. minus 14. So a negative, pretty much in the red for the next week, for the last week. Also sold my thermo position, Thermo Fisher Science, ticker symbol TMO. Again, yesterday got cold feet, and again minus 18. Also, if you want to take a look at this stocks of Thermo, for example, let's go to the weekly chart. So this was the pop here, and then although this could be a bullish flag, could go even higher, I got cold feet, to be honest. Things were happening in the market that I did not like, and that's pretty much it. So red week for the last week, not proud of it, but I think I'm going to catch up in the next week. Next week also, we have the 1st of August. So this is where Trump's promises for tariffs will kick in. Trump already had a deal with Japan, 15% instead of 25%. Let's see what he does with the European Union. And I just see what happens after that. So I thought that this Friday is going to end on a more green side, although the S&P and the Nasdaq did end on the green. But I saw things decaying pretty rapidly, maybe traders starting to rotate into more safer positions. Okay, so that's it for this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe, of course. Catch you in the next week. Take care. Stay safe out there. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.